When I first got my Xbox 360 back in 2006, there was a certain niche of games I would play. Dead Rising, Left 4 Dead, Resident Evil. If there was any game through 2006 to 2010 that had zombies in it, then I was there. And it's mainly because I really like the zombie genre. Now you're probably asking yourself just that, well, why does this have to do with Black Ops 2? It's mainly why I got into playing Call of Duty in the first place. Because I played Black Ops 1 not for its campaign or multiplayer, but for its zombies mode.
Where are we?
Let's kick ass. Let's do it.
Guns, zombies, and heavy metal is what made me really just want to play Black Ops 1. And yes, I was a Kino kid. The first map I ever played was Kino der Toten, which is one of the first zombies maps for Black Ops 1. The gameplay was just very simple, you just survive as long as you can. Buy doors, buy weapons, spin the bucks for a random weapon, hope you either get the ray gun or the thunder gun, drink perks, upgrade weapons. Now eventually, after a while, I got bored of the zombies mode, and I started testing the water with the campaign and the multiplayer. The campaign I unexpectedly didn't think I would actually like, but the whole idea of mixing fiction with history was such a neat idea to me, and that's why I loved Black Ops 1's campaign. Multiplayer, I really liked all the maps in that one, especially Nuketown. I feel like I could talk forever about Black Ops 1, but this is all about Black Ops 2, so I gotta keep going. So one day I was just wandering the internet somewhere around 2012, 2011, somewhere around there, and then I saw the Black Ops 2 reveal trailer.
What happens when the enemy steals the keys?
Black Ops 2 was completely different from Black Ops 1. Instead of taking place during the past, it's taking place in the distant future of 2025. I pretty much said back in 2012, once 2025 hits, I want to replay Black Ops 2 again. And to be honest with you, I cannot find a big enough reason not to talk about Black Ops 2 right now. Everything just seems like it's lined up perfectly. I mean, the year that this game takes place is 2025. We are living in 2025. Hell, even the month is correct. The game takes place somewhere around June 19th, 2025. If that's not a big enough reason why not to talk about this, I don't know what is. But without further ado, why was Black Ops 2 so awesome? The campaign goes back and forth between the future and the past. In the very past, you play as Alex Mason most of the time, but in the future, you play as Alex Mason's son, David Mason, where you have to hunt down and find the whereabouts of Raul Menendez, which he's a terrorist leader of Course Dia. He pretty much wants to take out the whole United States. The story kicks off with David Mason heading to the vault, but not only to check that Frank Woods is still alive, but to ask if Raul Menendez was there today, and to see if Frank Woods has any intel on Raul Menendez.
Safety's on, dipshit.
Hey, old man.
Sergeant Woods. Raul Menendez is the leader of Cortes Dia. And the most dangerous terrorist since Osama bin Laden. Fucking waste of time. Guy's a vegetable.
Back off!
All he said was, mi hermana. That's Spanish for sister, dipshit.
He needs some milk!
After that wet fart spicy burn, Woods hands over the necklace that Raul Menendez gave to him. After seeing this necklace, David Mason starts seeing some flashbacks of his childhood, but he doesn't really understand what's going on. After this, we get a flashback of Alex Mason and David climbing a tree until Hudson shows up. Hudson tells Mason that Woods is MIA in Angola, and the reason why the CIA can't interfere and save Woods is mainly because the Russians are all over Angola. So they ask Mason to come back to the military and save Woods. Mason does not want to go back to the military, but he has to save Uncle Woods, so he tells David to hold his beer, and also tells him to get better at climbing fucking trees. As the cutscene ends, it gives us this little loadout screen. This is the one cool thing about the Black Ops 2 campaign, where you can actually change your loadout before starting up the mission. And there's all kinds of things you can do, like add perks or like add camos to your guns, or put on attachments on your weapons. Pretty much the next couple of missions is to go find Woods in Angola. And I don't feel like I need to explain the gameplay, but it's your typical kind of Call of Duty, kind of like shoot, move forward, shoot, move forward, shoot, move forward until you get all the objectives done. There is this one thing that they add, which is like the toolkit perk. You can open up these rooms or boxes to get certain items. After getting some detail from Sabimbi, I have no clue if I butchered his name, but we're going with that. We know where Woods is. After you blow up these boats, then I'm pretty sure there's no people on them. You get to see what's in the big cargo box, but come to find out it's just a bunch of sleepy people. But it stinks so bad it's like I farted on a steak and let it marinate for 40 years. But in this huge amount of sleepy people we find Woods. It looks like he was bound to 360 no-scopes of meth, or he spent a day in Asmongold's room, which, I mean it's either here or there at this point. But the one thing is for certain, he definitely needs like 45,000 Scooby snacks just to recover. Everything seems all hunky-dory until this fuck nugget tries to blow up our ship. But the absolute Chad of Alex Mason. He tells Hudson, just like he told his son, hold my beer, and he tries to shoot the helicopter down with the RPG until he misses about 4 shots. It's only after he sobers up that he picks up the heat-seeking missile and takes down the helicopter. As the helicopter starts coming down, so does the boat. So we pretty much have to swim to safety. It's at this point we have to play the game like Far Cry and try to take over this post. But come to find out that it's my special little man Ryu Menendez. But just like the village, we got caught and I have to explain that we were just wrestling. It's only after I try to explain to his parents he pulls a grenade out of his butt-gina. And he tries to chuck me out like Jackie Chan style. Then he pops a knife out on me and I tell him, silly Mendez, don't bring a knife to a gun. And so I gave him the swift reminder to respect your elders. I had this sinking feeling in my tummy that I pissed off the whole ant colony. But just like a sane person, I started putting bear traps down and started bolting back to the river. As we bolted back to the river, it seemed like the Russians knew we were there. And it looked like we were more screwed than a Minecraft YouTuber. But it turned out to be my boy Sabimbi. So we alright. We loaded Woods onto the helicopter and it seemed like everything was all hunky-dory.
Well, we got a mission.
Múltiplos alvos correndo sem cobertura! Can't kill me. You can't kill me. Next to your old man. Put it on the line for me. For honor, friendship. Yeah. It's just like you, kid.
This is probably about when the story became like really based and actually started spitting out facts about China. And even nowadays feels like it's more relevant.
Now, the politicians, they want you to think this is about ideology. It's a lot of horse shit. Give me your phone. Go ahead. Rare earth elements. Whole fucking world runs on this shit.
Who controls all of it?
China. So while corporate America is kissing China's ass, I mean, really, guys? You're gonna build an entire military base on a mineral element that's wholly controlled by China?
I'm not gonna lie to you, I could have ended the video off right here and said this is why Black Ops 2 is so awesome. Because even knowing that Treyarch could have went and just made a bunch of shit up for 2025, they still chose to keep it grounded. And seeing just Woods talk about like real world elements and how China has like a whole stockhold of it is actually very true in reality. And it powers everything. I mean, to be honest with you, Treyarch could have really said anything. They could have said Ryu Menendez snuck into like some kind of building and exposed someone that was corrupted or whatever, and no one would have cared. But to have Ryu Menendez have a YouTube account and trying to pin the United States for cyber attacking the Chinese stock market, but the top comments are just so fucking perfect, man. Odysseus is the messiah of the 99%, or this comment right here, government bullshit, Bosworth did it, but they spelled government wrong. The detail is perfect. It's definitely one of those you'll blink and you'll miss it kind of things. So the next mission takes place during the future, and it's one of those trying to find the intel on what Mendez is doing. There's like this very cool part in the game where like we actually wingsuit into the facility, and it's badass. Even the enemies look cool in this game because they have like this ability where they can go invisible. This is something that we can kind of do nowadays, but not really. We do have things called invisibility shields, but it's obviously not like Black Ops 2's invisibility. To pretty much quote the Action Labs, All this invisibility shield is doing is spreading light in a horizontal direction, which means there's no electrical components or anything fancy making it invisible. I feel like this is a more bigger letdown than Marty McFly from Back to the Future telling me I'll have a hoverboard in 2015. But anyway, we go on with the mission. We go through this temple, we go into the thing until we realize there's a facility underneath the temple, blah yada yada. Then we have to fight through a bunch of gooners and a bunch of wallies with machine guns. We also figure out how Mendez is making all these wallies with machine guns, and that's using a goofily large size 3D printer. I mean, to be honest with you, I can believe that. Because, I mean, let's be honest, all this thing really is electrical components, a couple of motors, and maybe an AI attached to it. Even if this thing has a tough plastic shell, this thing can actually be done with the tech we have today. I mean, we already have 3D printers that make shit out of metal, so maybe even the body of this thing is made out of metal, I don't know. I'm just saying it's kind of cool to think about. Anyway, there's this guy just trapped in a box. This guy's name is Eric. He's a magnetometrist. And pretty much what that basically means is he's a scientist who pretty much measures the strength or the direction of magnetic fields. You know, your simple shit, something that your everyday person can do. Hell, my uncle could do it and he doesn't even know how to run a GPS. But anyway, all jokes aside, you're probably asking the question, well, why does Raul Menendez need Eric for? He needs Eric to make Solarium, which is a new rare earth element that will render all existing microchip technologies obsolete. This thing's got more processing power than my RTX 4090. All we really know of right now is Mendez was going to use Solarium as a basis for a cyber attack. Eric also says that there was a name floating around called Karma, and that's probably what the name of the cyber weapon is. But knowing Solarium is so new, it's about as new as a kid watching Skippity Toy on his iPad. Nobody can stop it, not even Eric. As I almost lean in to kiss Eric because we was making eye-to-eye contact, brother takes a shot to her neck and gets an instant Fortnite down. There was just so many emotions coursing through my veins I just snapped. Just the idea that I'll never have Eric's babies made me angry. I mean, look right here. I mean, I chased this guy down and shot him through the neck just like they did Eric. I mean, honestly, there was a whole pile of just mixed emotions that I had. Do I really regret killing all those mercenaries in that facility? No. Anyway, Briggs comes to our rescue, and that's basically that mission done.
See that handsome bastard? That's me. The only one's your father. After Nam. The numbers and all that? I mean, he was one dangerous son of a bitch.
The next mission's in the past with Alex, Mason, and Sergeant Frank Woods, where they team up with the Chinese to get intel on Mendez. We also team up with some of the Muslim army. The biggest reason I wanted to talk about this mission for is because this is one of those campaign missions that always just stands out to me. And it's mainly because on how open this map is. I'm not gonna lie, after replaying this mission again, I found this cave that I've never been in before. There was absolutely nothing, but it was kinda neat. This is probably the first and last time I've seen a horse alive in a Call of Duty series. And this is probably the only Call of Duty game I can think of that has horses. But after all this, we get to see the most badass fucking thing happen.
The Russians want to give us one last display of brute force. Let's give them one last display of courage. You with me?
I wrote a blog post a while ago about why I hate video games. Because this is what it does. It appeals to like the male fantasy and like how much time the designers probably put into like building that woman's body has been very far.
Oh, look at there, it's my boy Krapchenko. And he's just like how I remember him, still taking back shots. He tries to slap me with his frisbee arms, but I bop him right in the dick. After he gets tired of fighting, I blow up his tank. And so we captured Krapchenko to interrogate. As we started interrogating him, there was something just in my boilings that told me to bop this man in the head with my pistol. But I didn't understand the feelings I was having, mainly because I like this guy. I mean, I proved this with my big man hands hugging on his neck. If that's not a sign of affection, then I don't know what is. But in all honesty, this is a really cool scene, showing a couple of things from Black Ops 1. After the interrogation's over, Woods bops Krapchenko in the head, and everything was all hunky-dory. Oh shit, we got beat up. I've never felt so much love in my entire life. After that happens, he chucks us outside to let us bake in the sun. I mean, I was already trying to go for that farmer's tan, so I mean, I don't really mind it. but it's all okay because my boy Reznov gave me some nice refreshing Mountain Dew. The next mission's not technically a mission. These are strike missions. Basically what little I got from it, it pops you in a multiplayer map where you have to defend A, B, and C. It's kind of weird though, because there's a certain button you can press that makes you have like a tactical view, and it like zooms you out of the map, and like you can control certain things or command things around. The best way I can describe this mode is it's like, I don't know what the game is, but it's kind of like a top-down like strategy game where you have like a whole squad and you're supposed to move them around kind of like chess pieces. But in all honesty, what I did is just picked a soldier and went around the map like a chicken with his head cut off. I think they really want you to use the tactical view more often, but there's just so many fucking buttons, I just didn't really care for it. But hey, it's got a cool animation screen at the end of it when you win the match. And beating all the strike missions does affect the story. It's not great, but it's not bad either. From the intel we got from Kravchenko, we found Mendez's hideout and yeah, I'm not saying that. It's bad enough I can't say Arnold's last name without the hood tripping. But this should be a simple mission. We just go in, we kill Mendez, and we get it done. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
But anyway, we scope out Mendez's area, and it looks like he's in beside someone.
Who's the girl?
Doesn't matter, she's not a target.
Probably just a whore.
For once, I think I agree with Woods. Maybe it's just some random floozy that Mendez hooked up with last night. I mean, every guy likes tater tots and hot dogs. But we started heading up to Mendez's mansion, and everything seems to be going well, like peanut butter and chocolate. But Woods seems a little bit more bloodlusty to get Mendez.
No, can't be. What? Fucking Noriega! His men were supposed to secure Menendez! Menendez! Woods! Frank! You need to get your shit together now! It's not! This isn't the way! We're on mission. He's headed to the house. We'll get him, but we do it as a team. Come on. Woods, Mason. Coke Lab's in the basement. Clear it out. Grab any intel relating to the Menendez cartel.
If you capture him, you bring him to me. Make them for talk.
You have your orders, Sergeant.
Woods is losing his marbles faster than I lose all hope for humanity by watching live YouTube shorts. It's so bad that even Hudson pulls us aside and tells us to watch Woods.
Mason. Keep an eye on Woods. Seeing Menendez again, he's losing it.
It's okay, Hudson. I got his back.
I deeply don't understand what got up Woods' trot waffle. Except maybe the whole Angolia thing, but you know, that can't be it.
Frank, you don't lose your shit. What the fuck did Menendez do to you in Angola?
Does he? He wanted to know what the CIA had on him. Tortured my men in front of me. Thought I'd break. When I watched my team die, then he dumped us in a tin can and locked the door. Left me in there for weeks. So yeah, next time I saw Menendez, I lost my shit. What the fuck would you do?
Well, tickle my butthole and call me Elmo. We got to the very root of the dinosaur. I had this sinking feeling that it was Angolia's problem. After we snorted 3 lines of coke, we finally got out of the cocaine basement. I tried to stop Woods from being a dumbass, but all that acid that he took down in the basement makes him see demons that want to possess his butthole. Woods then decides to pop a nade. I tried to grab the grenade out of his hands, but I wasn't born as an NBA player. But for some reason, little Mendez wanted to go in the room for some reason. And before you know it, the whole house is blown up. You got that one fish from SpongeBob saying my leg. But before we go any further, there's like one part of the mission that like shows Mendez's side, and I want to see what that's about. So we're back at Mendez's room where he's talking to his floozy. Wait a minute. We didn't need some random escort. We needed his sister. When Mendez finally opens the door, he's rudely awakened with guys with guns. And it's after these guys and guns pretty much try to touch his sister. He goes in instant rage mode. Dude crashed out so bad they had to sedate his ass. After we wake up, we're in handcuffs. What only seems like we're bound to be executed. But come to find out, we're saved by Pineapple Man. Now I guess he saves us so we can go save our sister. but it's not really clear the motive. This is another one of those moments in the Black Ops 2 campaign that I remember fondly. I mean, you get double sprint, a machete, and a Spaz 12, and you're just bopping people left and right while Raul Menendez just yells like a maniac. But to go ahead and cut it short, Raul Menendez gets back to his mansion and sees his sister killed in a grenade blast. Hudson, Woods, and Mason pretty much assume that Raul Menendez is dead after that grenade blast. So, mission accomplished. This won't bite us in the ass in the next 40 years. We go back to the future to gather some more intel on Mendez, but it's during the cutscene that Harper triggers a flashback in David Mason.
Our drones.
You know what? This DeFalco guy could be fairly entertaining.
Fairly.
What do you say we blow off a little steam, huh? Throw a few punches first? Ooh.
You got it.
Come on, go suffer with me.
What did you just say? Come for what? These flashes I'm getting. Die. I know I was kidnapped the night my father died, but I never seen. It was Menendez. Did he kill my father? Okay, look, you know Woods raised me after my father died, right? But Woods always told me it was just some nut who did it, some drifter. What the hell's going on?
You suffer with me for all the sins of those who came before you. Dale duro, nene.
Why didn't Woods tell me?
Woods, Hudson, they created this. For Josefina. The night your father would die.
After all that, the game starts up with David Mason trying to work on a machine while being pinned down. But they finally get it to work and it starts mowing down people faster than I could say Swiss cheese. I will say out of this map, this one's really impressive, especially with all the water physics going on and the cars moving and everything. It's just a very cool environment to have a shootout in. But to really cut this mission short, we track down Mendez. Mendez knows we're spying on him. He throws a couple of bombs at us to flush us out, and then we escape in vehicle. Next mission. We finally have enough intel on Mendez to find and secure Karma. It's located on the Cayman Islands, which is basically an artificial island with a city on top. This one's another one of those levels that you just can't forget about. It's like fancy and sci-fi just came together and made some Frankenstein baby. It even comes with dystopian advertisements.
What is this?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
It's an automated system. It's triggered by your biometric ID.
We're all going to hell, man.
After all that, we get to my favorite part of this mission, which is the spider mission. I mean, look, he even comes with a foldable tablet. You can honestly tell from the gameplay that I remember this mission very fondly. Once we get the eye skin, we can finally move forward in the mission. After clearing the room, we have to play around with this clunky Connect to figure out where Karma is on the island. I don't know why people think that computers are going to look like this in the future. This UI is not boomer friendly. Anyway, we look up Karma on the Nintendo Wii 9000, and we find absolutely nothing. But we soon find out what Karma is, and it's actually the most dangerous weapon on the planet. Karma is a woman. What I meant by the most dangerous, I meant the second dangerous on the planet. But no, when we found Karma, we hit up our local nightclub to go secure Karma. And let me tell you, this nightclub smells like ecstasy and Skittles. This game came out around 2012, so expect a lot of dubstep music by Skrillex. But anyway, we get to Karma and oh darn, dang, shoot, shit. After this cool ass shootout in the nightclub, we got to hunt down DeFalco and secure Karma. But you don't have to worry about that because I'm a pro gamer and I know how to say
girl so
I was going super fast. All I did was stop for a Dr. Pepper. The next mission is the last mission. We go back to the past, where we have to capture Noriega. David Mason goes to Woods to confront these flashbacks he's been seeing. And this is pretty much Woods spilling the beans what happened when he got kidnapped that night. And just to save you guys a little bit more time, it's really just a shoot shoot bang bang kind of level. But the only thing that's different is Hudson's not on the intercoms anymore.
Bombing's begun ahead of schedule. Somebody you want to tell us?
10 seconds out.
Hudson, do you copy? No response. Continue as planned.
Other than not hearing Hudson on the intercom, everything kind of went all hunky-dory. Everything went as planned as usual. Anyway, we finally hunt down Noriega, and everything was going as planned until Hudson got on the intercom and switched it from a snatch and grab to a prisoner trade-off. So now we have to escort Pineapple Man at this point. After we do all that, we finally get our Nexus target. Hudson finally reveals that the Nexus target is Raul Menendez. And without any hesitation, we squeeze the trigger. Come to find out that it wasn't Raul Menendez that we shot.
What are you looking so smug about?
The fuck is going on? What's going on here? No. Mason!
Fool.
You bastard! Fuck!
Menendez!
We finally figure out why David Mason was kidnapped when he was a young kid. To play a game on who suffers and who dies. One person has to die and the other two have to suffer. And obviously they weren't going to kill David Mason mainly because he's, well, the main protagonist, but also I don't even think Call of Duty was even that ballsy back then. So it's basically between Woods and Hudson, and let's be honest, Woods is a goddamn onion, so it had to be Hudson. Mendes tells David once he sees the pendant again to come find him. The next mission, we have orders to capture Raul Menendez. In this mission, we play as a undercover CIA asset, Farid, in what I can only think of as a Chris Hansen sting operation.
Am I being taped?
You are being taped.
Oh, crap.
This is probably the only time in the Black Ops 2 campaign we actually see Corus Dia or this terrorist group. And seriously, no cap on Jesus, my boy Mendes is like the next content president. I mean, he gets one of his goons to shoot down a plane for him right in front of an audience. Dude, if this was on a live stream, Asmongold would be live streaming this faster than you could say Men's Rogate. I mean, look how he walks too. Even in a battlefield, he's just nonchalant like it's another day in Yemen. But anyway, just like every Call of Duty mission I can ever think of, we have to fight through a bunch of drones and enemies, so we can rejoin Mendes at the chapel, or how I like to call it, the clapel. Making my way downtown, shooting drones, forcing sharp objects in enemies' rectums. Anyway, we finally get to Raul Menendez, and for once in his career actually shoots down a plane on his own. Raul Menendez and his group of quesadillas captured Harper, and we're given a tough decision. Do we kill Harper and stay undercover? Or do we shoot Menendez and blow our cover? Now, this was a very tough decision to make, but I killed Harper. My moral compass is more shaky than Bill Cosby's drinks. Anyway, David Mason makes it and he starts chasing Raul Menendez. And after a couple more shoot shoot bang bangs, we finally capture Raul Menendez. That Diglett eating fucking dick dastardly bastard. The next mission takes place on the USS Barack Obama, which I didn't know this until I played Black Ops 2. Apparently the United States likes to name ships after certain former presidents. So in real life, we got the USS George Washington, the USS Abraham Lincoln, the USS Ronald Reagan, and a bunch of other ships from other different presidents. Now you're probably wondering, does the USS Barack Obama exist in real life? And that's an unfortunate no. But we do have the USS George H.W. Bush. So just squint your eyes and pretend and it becomes the Barack Obama. Anyway, we start interrogating Mendez to see what he's cooking in the kitchen for the United States. Until Briggs informs David Mason that there's a jet entering the Obama's airspace. And it's like pooping out like a bajillion fucking drones. So David Mason pretty much is trying to go up to see what's going on. As David Mason's about to leave the interrogation room, he looks back to see Raul Menendez pop the Houdini. He made Salazar orgasm like 500 times, that's why he looks like a gut knife fade. Anyway, David Mason complies and he turns around and he gets knocked out. After being unconscious for a while, David Mason gets woke up by Salazar and he's like, dude, you won't believe what happened to me last night. But before we can swap war stories, we have to arm back up and secure Mendez, and maybe secure the ship. Once we opened the door, we really found out the situation that we were in. It's like I ate Chipotle and gurgitated it out of my butthole, and then smeared it on the canvas for everyone to see. As we're trying to figure out where Admiral Briggs is, but Raul Menendez is already 2 steps ahead. Depending on what you did during the story, who you saved or who you killed, this scene plays out a little differently. So, knowing I saved Farid, but I didn't kill DeFalco, this is the cutscene I get. Now I can't show every scenario here, because if I did, I think my PC would explode with how much crap I got in this video. But this is just kind of another reason on why Black Ops 2 was just so awesome. There's just so many different ways you can change the story. After making your choice if you want to kill Briggs or keep him alive. But we finally realized what Raul Menendez's plan was. Raul Menendez wanted to be arrested so he can aboard the USS Obama. Then once he took over the ship, he was going to upload a virus to their database to pretty much have a backdoor to any drone, robot, or AI plane in the United States. He pretty much stole the keys from the United States. Those were the said keys that he was going to use against America. Once David Mason puts 2 and 2 together, he has to inform the Pentagon. So what my brother does, he puts Heelys on his soles and starts to go as fast as he can, until he finally escapes on a plane. The next mission takes place in LA where we meet the president. And damn, Treyarch got that wrong. But in all fairness, the idea that Trump would actually win an election, not only once, but twice, I don't think that was on anybody's playing cards in, 2012 when they thought about 2025. Except maybe The Simpsons. The whole objective is pretty much to protect the president. You pretty much know it by now. Shoot these guys, shoot these drones, blah yada yada. The one cool thing about this mission is you get to play with a campaign gun called the Storm PSR. And it does pretty good with one-shots, but if you hold it down, it can shoot through walls. It's a pretty cool sniper rifle, but I could see why they probably didn't add this in the multiplayer. Anyway, once you're done with all that, you gotta get in a truck and pretty much escort the president out. This one's a fun mission just because of just all the crazy stuff happening all at once. I mean, you saw that. A fucking jet just went over my fucking head. And just think of all the things that's just happening in this scene right now. To be honest with you, this is kind of what I think LA would be like every day. Everything was going all fine and dandy until a truck hits us. But it's okay, my boy David Mason has a thick skull. As we're going down the street trying to get to the checkpoint, this jet just comes out of nowhere and just wrecks the shit nuggets out of the map. It's the little things like that what makes Black Ops 2 so fucking awesome. It's really cool to see that because you just see everything just falling apart all around you, and it's like it's really good world building, I will say. Once we finish the checkpoint, we have to protect the president from above. This is a really cool mission too, just being in a jet and like flying around through buildings and like shooting like planes out of the sky was really cool. After a couple of dogfights in the air and protecting the president, our VTOL is pretty much cooked. So much so we have to eject. And pretty much the mission's over and we're on our final and last mission. At this point in the story, we're pretty much just trying to hunt down Mendez. They managed to ping a single in Haiti, so that's where we're going. I felt like this was like the coolest way you can start off a mission. You start off in a plane and you're bound to jump until the fucking plane explodes and you get launched out. And you're trying to dodge and weave from like debris and stuff, and then you hear like the multiplayer like main theme Black Ops 2 music play. And like all this stuff is happening all at once, and you see like fire from like down below, and you're trying to like fly into the thing. It's great. I fucking love this one. Once we cut through all the enemies and get through, Mendez comes on all the screens and says he's like 2 steps ahead of you, and for some reason he destroys the fleet. But he pretty much did that to cripple the United States. They can't take back all their drones, they're all gone. But he's pretty much gonna get Chorus Dia to come in and take over. Mendez is trying to do what he always does and tries to escape. As we're trying to find Mendez, the floor collapses beneath us. We fall down in the big hole, but also Mendez is also down in that big hole. So we drop down, we take the Cat 40, we kill the guards, and we finally get Mendez. After finally capturing Mendez, you get 2 options. You can either shoot him or capture him. I was gonna straight up shoot Menendez, mainly because he was a pain in the ass to get to. But the one thing I really noticed in the Black Ops 2 story, especially on my recent playthrough, this story is built on revenge. If Mendez didn't put Woods in a hot box and he didn't kill all of his men, Woods would have never freaked out and accidentally thrown a grenade at Josefina. This whole entire thing could have been avoided if people just let it go. And if I shoot Mendez right now, all it's gonna do is make him look like a martyr. So instead of shoot him, I captured him, ending the cycle. No, we didn't really save Karma. No one doesn't really know how to stop Solarium. Ryu Menendez gets out of jail, but escapes jail and kills Woods. The last thing that Mendez does, he goes to Josefina's grave to dig it up. He showers himself in gasoline and lights the match. And that's the Black Ops 2 campaign. I truly do love the story of the campaign. The antagonist is compelling, a little bit old with the new, but I just think it's a really good story. And the thing about this campaign, out of all the Call of Duties, this one has the most endings out of all of them. There's like 5 other endings in this game. And on top of that, you have strike missions, which, you know, just adds on to the replay value for the campaign. And then you have the intel, like go pick up like 100 pieces of intel. All in all, I just think it's a very solid campaign. It's finally time to talk about the Black Ops 2 multiplayer, the real meat and potatoes, the real sponge that you're gonna be playing most of the time. What did I really mean from that? I don't know, ask my lawyer. Let's just start off with the real basics. The Create class is a pick 10 kind of system, which means pick a gun, take attachment, carry perks. All of it pretty much counts to picking 10. It's one of those things where it's just so simple, so easy, I feel like I didn't really have to talk about it. The score streaks are pretty much the same, except a couple of futuristic gadgets you can use, like Dragonflyers, AGRs, and Hunter Killers. Theater mode kinda looks like it's dead, but back in the day when this game was really in its prime, you would see people just record just random shit all the time. You can also make your own emblems. Now, probably the reason you don't see it anymore is mainly because Activision doesn't want to be associated with someone making an emblem that shows racism or nudity or whatever, right? No matter how bad they were, let's be honest, a lot of them were really funny. There's this one emblem that someone made that lives just like fucking rent-free in my head. Every time I close my eyes I see it, and it's basically a sentient toothpaste that is like squeezing his tip out onto a toothbrush. This right here was when COD peaked. This ain't just a random picture of a sentient toothbrush, you know, relieving himself off a toothbrush. This is what the Call of Duty community stand for. And if you looked at all the other ones, they have this just same behavior. Look, all I'm saying is toothpaste relieving himself on a toothbrush needs to be hung up right next to the Mona Lisa. When it comes to the Black Ops 2 multiplayer, it was just perfect, really.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
I can't think of any other Call of Duty that I played after this where I just didn't want to play the core mode. And the reason is that a lot of other Call of Duty games, their time to kill just sucks. I think Black Ops 2's time to kill was just right on the money, just a real perfect balance of kind of fair. And don't get me wrong, there is some times where the hit detection is kind of bullshit. Sometimes you'll be walking, someone shoots at you and you hide behind a corner and you'll still get shot. But most of the time, it's not really a big deal. When it comes to like moving around in the game, it's completely different to Black Ops 1's movement. Black Ops 1's movement is kind of like you being like a sloth and like you're slowly just getting to the thing, right? But when it comes to Black Ops 2, it feels like I'm fast as fuck, boy. Like, I feel like I can go across the map pretty fast. Which I think it encouraged a lot more people to kind of go more gun-ho than to camp around. When it comes to a lot of the guns, they are absolutely iconic. The AN-94, the MP7, the M27, the AFL OSW, and I could sit here and name every Black Ops 2 gun on the man. But the biggest point I was really wanting to make with that is these guns are not just, oh, I'm gonna use it because this one does the most damage. No, a lot of these guns just look so good that you just want to shoot, no matter if it's bad or not. I mean, just look at the N94's reload animation. He takes the mag and fucking flings that shit out and then puts another mag in. Even though he's wasting a magazine, that's badass as fucking hell. And some of the names of these guns are just so memorable, you don't really need to look it up on Google. I mean, for fuck's sake, they literally have a gun called the Peacekeeper. Must be pretty good if it's called the Peacekeeper. When it comes to the map variety, it's pretty good. The maps I can think of on the top of my head right now that are just the best maps in the game is like Nuketown, Slums, Standoff. I think the other one was Express. We got Grind. Speaking about Grind, this is the first Black Ops game to have Golden Diamond in it, and it looks perfect.
Oh my god! Wow!
Golden Diamond was so good in Black Ops 2. Every other Black Ops game that's came after it has tried to capture that beauty. And when it comes to your player character, I mean, there's like 6 other factions you could play as in this game. But not only that, but the announcers are perfect too.
Deathmatch. Remember, speed and aggression, gentlemen.
One of the things I look at very fondly is just the community at this time. I mean, you had everybody constantly talking about Black Ops 2 on YouTube, especially if you watched Vanoss Gaming at the time. You were mentally trained not to call this a Bounce Betty, but a pancake.
Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Pancake on the ground. The pancake pop up and the pancake fucking ass with the pancake. You want the pancake? You want the pancake?
It sounded like the end of a song where it was like fading out, and then it just starts picking up again. You want the pancake? You want the pancake? You want the pancake?
It just picks back up.
Those videos still hold up today, man. I just saw the one where Terrorizer falls down the well and buried, and he's talking about the used condoms down the well. The best way I can really explain the Black Ops 2 multiplayer at the time was you just had to be there. It was just, I would definitely call it the peak of the Black Ops series. I remember when I started playing this game, and I wouldn't like play with anyone. Like, I would always go into a party by myself, and I would play just Black Ops 2 alone. But there was one day I accidentally didn't put the party on, and I started just spewing a bunch of shit into the Black Ops 2 public chat. And before you know it, someone responded, and 12 years later I'm going to his Thanksgiving party. Black Ops 2 is the only game I can think of where I actually made friends and made connections in real life. Before all that, it was just me, myself, and my Xbox 360. All in all, the multiplayer was just perfect. Even replaying Black Ops 2 now is just a fun trip down memory lane. It's finally time to talk about Black Ops 2 Zombies. I'm not gonna talk any more bullshit, I'm just gonna spread those cheeks wide and just jump right in. Black Ops 2 Zombies is just like Black Ops 1 Zombies, but done way much better and with a bigger budget. They did add in a zombies rank system, but back then everybody didn't have really no clue on how it worked, and even to this day I still don't know how it works. It's pretty crazy how big zombies got even at that time. Back in 2012, it really blew me away that we were actually gonna get an official Nuketown Zombies map. The atmosphere and the graphics of it were just really cool. It takes place right after something just blew up, and it's the aftermath after Nuketown. But before we get a little bit deeper, it's probably best that I talk about the kind of zombie story to a certain extent. I'm gonna simplify it so we can just get it done and over with. So these bumbling idiots follow this bumbling idiot to go to the moon to blow it up. For what reason? This bumbling idiot wants to be control of the zombies and have power, but he has to switch souls with a little girl. So this bumbling idiot switches souls with that girl, and now he became controller of the zombies and stuff. And there you go, there's a sleepy lore explained by yours truly. Now you're probably wondering why I have to tell you that, because this takes place during the moon Easter egg, and that's why at the very end of the map there's a missile heading for Nuketown. The one little cool thing about this map though, is once you hit round 25, the zombie's eye color changes from orange to blue, pretty much referencing that Richtofen is in control, and not Samantha. All in all, this is a really good zombies map, and a very good challenge map even. The next map we're going to be talking about is Transit, and oh boy, this map makes me want to eat out of a septic tank. It was cool on paper, but ass at concept. Go ahead and talk about the bad of this map. So pretty much the whole idea of Transit is it's like this big circle map where you pretty much go to different locations. It was pretty much the biggest map at its time, but the main places you're gonna go in is like the bus depot, the diner, the farm, the power station, and then back to town, and then it just circles back around. One of the biggest problems I had with Transit, you see this bus right here? Your life evolves around it. This absolute fart narker will honk his horn and then just drive off without you in it. And that means whatever you is doing doesn't matter at this point, because you're trying to catch up to the bus so you don't get left behind. And it's not a big deal if it's a place that you want to stay in for like maybe like 3 rounds, but that bus takes fucking forever to circle back around. And you could just hoof it to the next area, but then you got these crack babies coming after you, so you pretty much have to deal with that. And then knowing how foggy it is, you can pretty easily get lost, and especially when you're not paying attention having to fight these fucking things. And what happens when you run out of ammo, but you're in the middle of fucking nowhere? You're gonna have to play dodge and weave with everything that comes after you. And that's not too much of a hassle because the roads are pretty big. There's nowhere to get like ammo or like actually get a wall buy anywhere. And when you do get to the location, pray like hell that the bus is not cock blocking you. See, right over there is a wall buy of an AK-47U, but the bus is cock blocking my way to get to the gun. So basically I have to dodge and weave and wait for the bus to move. But for some reason it seems like it's taking its sweet ass time. Zombies start piling up and the bus is not moving an inch. So I try to get rid of some of the horde with what little rations I have, which is 2 monkey bombs and a knife, but I instantly go down and accidentally end the round. Now, to go ahead and spoil the ending, let me show you on MS Paint what happens to me next. Yeah, that's right, I get fucked. I mean, look at this little bastard driving off while I'm bleeding out on the street. That guy doesn't care that I broke my elbow. When it comes to making the jet gun, might as well just forget about it, because it's so tedious to get, but so easy to break. That's basically why you don't see me use it through this whole gameplay. And don't get me started on the steps to get to the Pack-a-Punch. That's basically like doing the main steps of the Easter egg. That's the biggest problem I have with the map. It's a lot more annoying than fun. And I imagine if I had 4 other people to come suffer with me, which, yeah, you know, get it, the map would probably be more funner to play on. A while back ago, I heard of all the just cut content that was done to Transit, and it made me kind of wonder what a Transit remake would look like. Mainly because they had to pull so much just to make it run on Xbox 360. The reason that there's fog in the map is not due to make it look spooky, but it's there to keep your Xbox from not exploding. Like I said, the concept's not bad, it's just the execution that was bad. But I think Treyarch knew it wasn't going to be that great because they chopped up all the areas into zombies maps. You got Bus Depot, which is a masochist dream. That's what they said. Then you have Farm, but it's basically the same as Bus Depot, but it has perks. And then we have the saving grace of Transit, Town. Everybody, including me, fucking loved Town. It was small, simple, and fun. The next map is Die Rise, which I'm gonna Die Rise and give me a Dr. Pepper. When I was playing Black Ops 2 Zombies back in the day, I would always label Die Rise right next to Transit. But after replaying it and giving my own thoughts, it's really not that bad. I would honestly put Die Rise right next to Shangri-La. And the biggest problems with Die Rise is mainly because it's hard to navigate around. And just like Transit with the bus, your life evolves around the elevators, because that's where you're gonna get all the perks in Pack-a-Punch. But not only just to get Pack-a-Punch in the perks, but you also use the elevators to pretty much ascend upward and get back to the top. So how the map technically works, you pretty much start at the top and you get two choices. You can either start from the top and work your way down, or you can go from the bottom and work your way up to the top. I always thought the bottom route was way much better, mainly because the turn on the power is like one door by away, and plus you can go ahead and just build the solidifier. But the real con is you're nowhere near the mystery box or the workbench to the Tramplestein, which means you're at mercy of the elevators to ascend you up to the top. All in all, it's not a good casual map, but it's a very good challenge map, as long as you don't accidentally slip and fall into the void.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Billy. That hurt.
The Solidifier is one of the most funniest wonder weapons in this game. When you shoot at zombies, they completely explode, but when you shoot on the ground, it kind of makes this kind of slippery effect. When zombies walk over it, they just fucking slip, and it's funny as hell. That's pretty much all I had to say about Die Rise. Now, before we head to the next map, all the zombie maps we've been playing have all been directed by Jimmy Selinsky. But in the second DLC of Black Ops 2, they changed the zombies director to some random guy named Jason Blundell. Honestly, guys, I doubt Zombies is ever gonna get better than this, man. I mean, this guy probably doesn't know anything about zombies. It's just something in his eyes just tells me he's just.
Where are we going from here?
They all look at you the same way, don't they, Al? You see a weasel, a rat. You're a survivor, Al. No shame in that. Even a rat survives. You can take it, whatever they throw your way.
I can't change the past. I wish I could, but I just can't.
Am I stuck here until I see the error of my ways? Until I repent? Well, you're gonna have to wait a long time, because I don't regret a damn thing!
It can't be like this forever. There has to be a way to break the cycle. Either wake me up, or just fucking kill me already. What did I do wrong? How do I put things right?
Kill me! Kill me right here! Right now! I'm not afraid to die!
What do you think will be waiting for you when you get out, Sal? You think the city will be just as you left it?
See, I knew this guy had what it takes to make a good zombies map. I never doubted him for 2 seconds. Mob of the Dead not only changed the zombies gameplay, changed the way we looked at zombies from now on. The stories about these 4 mobsters that are constantly in a purgatory loop, kind of like Groundhog Day if you was getting chased by zombies. And the game takes place at Alcatraz somewhere around the 1930s. The one thing that constantly puzzles me when I play this map is why the zombies' eyes are red. Because just like I was saying about Nuketown Zombies, there's a reason for the eye color. Usually it's orange for Samantha and then Richtofen's is blue, but there's nobody that controls zombies with red. I tried to see if anybody in the community gave me a logical explanation for this, and all I found is someone saying that red means that they're not being controlled. I don't know, man, but I'm gonna be honest with you, if it's glowing, that means someone's controlling something. But moving on, one of the new gameplay features is once you die, you go into afterlife mode. Once you enter the afterlife, you can go through these certain blue doors. You can shock certain things to overload them to open the doors. You can also shock zombies off of you and revive yourself, but it comes at a cost. You can only carry 3 afterlives, and you can only gain 1 every round, which means sometimes to open up doors you have to wait around so you can gain another afterlife to open it. The map looks fantastic. Even the environment sounds, the rattling of chains, the thunder, the sparks you hear, even the perks are altered. Another cool thing about the perks in this one is it almost looks like it's like fuzzing out, like it's like not supposed to be there. All these tiny little details is what creates the true spook factor. Another new gameplay change that they did was there's these 3 dogs around the map that you have to fill up. Once you fill up all 3 dogs, you get the Hell's Retriever, which is basically a reskinned Tomahawk from the multiplayer that acts like a boomerang. We also had some new guns like the Blundergat. I mean, do I really need to say anything? Look at how fucking cool this thing looks. Seriously looks like something that the Doom guy would shoot. What I did in this game is I got the Acid Kit and I upgraded the Blundergat to the Acid Gat and then I pack-a-punched it. It was pretty fucking cool. But once we find all the parts to the plane, we can finally leave out. Yeah, sorry to burst your bubble, but we never escaped the island. Once we realize there's no escape, we sit on the electric chair, and we get shocked back to the spawn. And just like how we started the game, we have to revive ourselves. All in all, Mob of the Dead was great. It was perfect. The story was perfect. Map design, atmosphere, everything. The next map is another Jimmy Selinsky map. And I'm not gonna lie, man, after that map, man, he's got some big shoes to fill. The next map is Buried, which basically what the map is a western town deep underground. I'm just gonna be honest with you, out of all the Jimmy Selinsky maps in Black Ops 2, Buried is one of my favorites. Now, back in the day, a lot of people complain about Buried for being too easy, which I find it very ironic because a lot of people complain that his maps were too hard. And once he makes it too easy, now everybody's complaining that it's too easy. They do have a point, because I could seriously turn on the power with really no effort. I mean, this is the route to the power, and really all you have to worry about is the zombie coming out of the ground. But that's what I honestly kind of liked about this map. If you're kind of like, dude, I just want to play something casual, but then you're like, I don't know about Mob of the Dead today, you can at least look at Buried and be like, oh, okay, we'll play Buried. I feel like Black Ops 2 Zombies gave you choices on how you want to play, and Buried was just one of those easy to set up maps. Getting to Pack-a-Punch is the really cool part, mainly because you have to go through the mansion and hunt. Wait a minute, is that a ghost? No, it's fine. She just takes my money like the IRS. So it's pretty simple. You just gotta avoid them like your child support and you're golden. Every 4 or 5 rounds when you go to the witch's place, you get a free perk. Before you get to the Pack-a-Punch, you gotta go through this maze, which would have been difficult if I didn't have a paralyzer. Anyway, once you go down the well, you'll finally be able to Pack-a-Punch. We also got the big guy. Nowadays, people call him Arthur. But back in the old days, we used to call this motherfucker Leroy. Now, Leroy is a simple man. You give him booze, and he'll crash into any shit you want. You give him candy, he'll hold the crawler for you. If you tell Leroy to hold the box, he'll karate chop that son of a bitch, making it where it can't move. You tell Leroy where the box is, he'll go to goddamn Antarctica just to get it. This is the biggest reason why people think that Buried's way too easy. Yeah, I see what they're talking about, but that's like really the big strength of Buried. It's easy to jump into. Now it's time for our last map. This one's another map by Jason Blundell, and it's Origins. Origins was just a golden fucking map. Back when the trailer first came out, I was just so confused on what was going on in the zombie storyline. Like, why is the original crew in World War I? Or why is this steampunk themed? Or why does Samantha sound American? She's supposed to be German. Why is there huge robots around the map? I mean, it was a real head scratcher. But this was another one of those maps where like the map designers were just fucking crunching overtime. This map just looks crazy good. The idea that this game's got all kinds of different weather effects is something that you don't really think about that much, but like once you start and think about it, it's really cool for a zombies map. Then you have these staffs where they have all different elements and shit. You know, like things like ice, fire, electric, wind. Then you have these generators that you have to start up and you have to hold the area for a certain amount of time. Even the mini boss zombies in here are pretty cool, the Panzers. I mean, it's a zombie in a steampunk suit coming at you with claws and a flamethrower. And there's these parts in the map where you have to like watch out from being stepped on because of the giant robots. I mean, this map was absolutely cooking. And then you watch the Origins ending cutscene.
With riches beyond imagination. From that day forward, they knew that Samantha would keep them safe. Forever.
Getting everything wrong. I told you before their eyes should be blue.
It's my turn, Eddie. I can do whatever I want.
But you don't even know how to play properly. Girls don't know enough about zombies.
I remember when this first came out and I was just like, what the fuck is this? Are you telling me I'm gonna look underneath my player character's foot and it's gonna say Andy on it? You're just gonna say I was one of Andy's toys and that was it? What happened to Richtofen controlling all the zombies and then the earth gets exploded and stuff? It's like, wow, this is kind of a bullshit ending. And that was pretty much where the community was at the time. No one did really understand the significance of this ending, and what did this mean for zombies heading forward. I never really thought back then that we would ever get to the point of zombies where we have to talk about different dimensions and universes, but when you start thinking that way, it makes sense how Mob of the Dead exists. Mob of the Dead and Origins really just opened the idea that there's like different dimensions and different universes. But all in all, Origins was just great. But I think that's pretty much it. I just really had a very fun experience playing Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 was definitely one of the last Call of Duties that really had like some creativity to it. But not only that, but a good story. But all in all, that's pretty much it. If you could like, comment, subscribe, that would be really nice. Sometimes I kind of debate if I want to keep talking about like, comment, subscribe after like every video. But in all honesty, I hunched over this computer for 2 weeks. Just compiling everything together into one full Black Ops 2 video and trying to make it the best video that I can possibly can. But that's it. Skiddly boppity boop. I'm out.